Peace family, today is now day 4 of week 4 and we're basically halfway through the last week of the month, and I'm really excited because today all the painting should be finished and we're getting the wood trims on. So the things are starting to come together. Basically today's video is going to be about staining the wood trims, cutting them to size and putting them on. Probably going to use liquid nails or something like that so that there's no nail holes or anything in the trim. I'll be doing that for this wall as well as the bedroom, and then we're also going to size out a couple pieces of the ceiling trim. I'm not going to be putting that in until the ceiling's in, but I just wanted to get a feel for how it's going to look. And we're also going to be putting all the hardware back on, like the brackets, the window trim and things of that nature. So if you want to see how to install wood trim and things of that nature, definitely stay tuned for this video. So we're going to start out by putting the hardware back on the window, and I might leave the ones on the wall off just for the time being, but the reason I say that is when the frame goes on, the size of the seam is going to shrink a bit, so I need to know the exact measurement before I make my cuts. And as you can see, the seam goes all the way up and then all the way down, but the window frame probably will come out to about there, so I need to just make sure that everything is covered up, and then make my cut based off of that. I'm also contemplating putting some up here, but I was also planning on putting a trim here underneath, but it's gonna be mostly covered by the blinds and curtains and the curtain rod and whatnot, but I think I'll wait to put that one up and then put something there if I choose. So I think we'll just start with the bottom here and then this guy. Okay, so now that we've got the window trim on, now we're going to take the measurements for each side. They should be the exact same. We'll just confirm that. I want it to be as precise as possible. We'll make those cuts and then we'll stain it. I'll show you guys the stain that I got soon. I think it'll match pretty much everything else in here. And then we'll get the one on in the bedroom. Okay, so this is the trim that I got. It's just a little flat, super skinny piece. It's actually not perfectly straight, so I'm hoping that's not too big of a problem, but these little trims are always hit or miss. I have another 2, which is more than I actually need, so if I have one that's a bit, yeah, this one's a bit better, so I'll probably start with this one. And basically it just needs to be cut in half, so let's do that. Alright, so we've made our cuts. They're looking pretty good. I sized them out, they fit perfectly, and now we're going to get our stain on. I got a Varathane. It's a stain and polyurethane, like clear sealant, all in one, so it's just one step. And it's in classic oak satin. It should match the countertops. It's around that color. So we're gonna get this tint on, and yeah. Alright, so the surface is prepped. we have the tint ready. It looks awfully dark in here, but obviously it won't be that intense once it's on the wood. I'm gonna do a little test piece, and then we'll see how it looks. So it goes on almost like a gel. Like, if you can see that, it's pretty interesting. I've never used this kind of stain before with the polyurethane in it, so that's probably why, but we'll see how that turns out once it's a little more dry, because that's still very fresh. And yeah, we'll see how it looks. It should look pretty good. Alrighty, so the first coat is on. It looks pretty good. I took one in to the RV to see how it looked, contrasting the paint and stuff, and it looks really good. So I might put a second coat, but for now I'm gonna go to the hardware store, get some construction adhesive so I can get these on, because I realized I don't have any. So we're gonna go do that, and we'll come back. They should be relatively dry by then. Might do a second coat, and then we'll get them up. Alright, we acquired it. And I got the heavy duty one because I'm not going to need a lot for this, but I'm also going to be using it for these ones as well as parts of the ceiling. So I figured might as well just get that. And I got a second coat on here, so we're going to have to let that dry, and then we'll get them up. Okay, so they're dried. They look pretty good, and they feel relatively sealed, so we're gonna go ahead, put this one on, and see how it holds up. Alright, so as you can see behind me, the trims are on, and I think they look really good. The one in the bedroom really adds some wood accent to the area, considering there's wood everywhere in here except in the back. I think it ties everything together, because the whole front loft area is all wood. All the countertops are wood. The bathroom has the wood countertop, so it's like opposite sides facing each other, and then this as well, opposite sides facing this countertop. So I think it really adds what was missing in terms of the wood accents, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. The stain is almost the exact same as the countertop. It matches the loft area, ties everything in together, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. In terms of trim, I'm going to be adding those wider ones up at the top on the side here, underneath the cabinets, and I'm just going to be having regular quarter rounds on the floor when the flooring's all finished, but that'll be one of the very last things that gets done. So the flooring and the bathroom, those are like the two last things that'll get accomplished in here. So I'm going to slowly work towards getting every other little thing finished off, and I also want to get the roof and everything on there, like the solar panel mounting hardware, and then finishing up the ceiling. Once the ceiling's done, a lot of stuff will kind of just fall into place in terms of lighting and things like that. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be working in the loft. I should be getting my wallpaper in. I'm not 100% sure, but if we do, we'll be putting the wallpaper up there and then eventually finishing off the flooring there, and then that'll be done in terms of finishing it, and then we'll build the planters for that for both the windows, and once the ceiling's up, that whole area will be finished. And so yeah, with all that being said, we're getting closer each day to the end goal, and I am beyond thrilled. I am super excited to see how everything comes along, and everything's looking really great so far. So without further ado, that's going to be it for day 4 of week 4, and I hope you enjoyed this trim installation video. As always, remember to keep love in your heart, and I'll see you next time. Peace.